I wanted to do an update video because I am working on multiple projects and I wanted to take a moment to talk about them because I tend to show up, post something, and then disappear because I'm an author. I'm used to not having to be present at all times. And so, unless you watch my shorts that get scheduled in advance, you have you don't see me every day. And even then, I am out of those. So I need to do another essay mini series, and I don't know what topic I want to do it on. As far as YouTube goes, right now I am working on two major projects and one off and on project. The first major project I'm working on is an essay about Klaus and Caroline. Depending on when I decide to edit this update video, that video might already be out when you see this. And then the second one is I'm working on a Baldur's Gate 3 challenge. It is technically not a narrative challenge, but it has been really fun because it's forced me to make choices that in 4,000 hours of gameplay, I just haven't chosen to make. So there's a bunch of dialogues I've never seen before. There'll be a bunch of shorts I can make for the second channel, which if you want to see all of those little gameplay shorts and unique banters and clips, I have those in the Katira's archive channel. The Baldur's Gate 3 challenge run I'm working on, I actually have several mods installed for it that probably will not end up in the final challenge video because they're not related to the challenge being done, but that bring back cut content from early access.
So, we're blessed true souls, handpicked by the Absolute, just like their ex-brother.
And that bring data mined content that didn't make it into the game, but all of the audio and animation files were there. And as well, it also has some files where I went and collected all of the reskin files on Nexus that people made, where they made different characters change how their appearance is. And then I used my dice to select. And so I don't know what each character will look like until I get to them, which has been which has actually been kind of fun. It has been a long playthrough. I am 16 hours in and only just now got to Act 2 and Last Light because I keep having to do the most insane ways of solving problems because the challenge forces that to be the only option. I wanted to do this, right? Right? I tell you what the challenge is, but I think it'll be more exciting if you find out when it airs. The third one that's off and on is I'm trying to figure out exactly what I want to do with the Vyper series because I still have all of the footage from filming that series, but I'm not sure if I should continue to do it as episodes and it be like done like a TV show, or if I should do one long challenge run, kind of like my Astarian Approvals Only challenge run. In the realm of books, I have a couple of projects that I'm currently working on. One is something I'm going to announce on June 23rd. It's not technically something I'm working on, it's something I'm announcing happening, and it will be really fun and exciting for anyone who has really wanted to read my books and just hasn't been able to purchase them because of where they're available. As well, I'm working on a new book series. I needed to take like a step away from the Gemstone Souls to have a break because they're very intense. So I tend to flip flop between projects, as you know, because there were 7 books last year. This one is taking so many crazy turns. It was originally supposed to be a vampire billionaire kidnaps woman, quick Kindle Unlimited crack read. And why did my pulp romance become an intense urban fantasy romance? Uh, a character who was supposed to be throwaway became the main love interest because I just fell in love with him. The main love interest is no longer the main love interest. Last night, one of the characters who, again, was supposed to be like a side character. She was important, but she was still a side character. That became a point of view character as well. So it has been a wild ride. I really enjoy the couple that I have in this story so far. I like the world I created because in this world, people know magic and paranormal creatures exist, but the government restricts the way that they're allowed to live their lives, what cities they live in, how they're allowed to interact with people. And there are some people who have to follow those rules because they are kin, which are what I call paranormals, and they're restricted to certain cities and certain jobs and certain lifestyles. But if they do not have their powers activate, they're also not accepted among their own paranormal race. So they become like outsiders, like outcast characters. And then my second book project that I'm working on is I have the first book I ever wrote, which I wrote when I was 14. And then I had to make a bunch of edits to it because religious family. And then I published it at 18. And looking back, I'm like, this feels like a fanfic of my own IP. This feels like if somebody took an anime or a manga and just translated it into a book. And it's insane looking back from where I started, but I'm just going through and line editing it because before I decide to go on the path of rewriting that and turning it into something else, I wanted to share with my subscribers where my origin story came from, where what 14-year-old Kit was like. And then finally, the last thing that I am working on right now is another writing project. And I'm going to be calling it my secret project for now because I do not want what this project is to distract from my other books or content. Since filming this update video, the secret project, its name is now Project Morningstar. So I think I want to give everything I work on a project name because I do end up changing the like title of things before they're released because the title I start with is not always the best title. But in this case, Project Morningstar is super special to me. And because of how I am known online, it has to be a secret until it comes out. Otherwise, people will get too excited. They'll get too excited. Mm. I have been too ADHD-ish. I need to go clean that. But it is a fantasy series, like a serial chapters rather than a series of books. A fantasy series that when I'm done with it, assuming that I get to be done with it at some point because I have so many projects, I will end up sharing online for free that involves a ranger who works as a mercenary and an assassin who is tasked with killing a mercenary who everyone says is a feral monster. But when she meets said feral monster, he is not actually feral, and he is just a creature of the night who desperately needs help on a mission to break a curse on him by finding all of the pieces of a spell book that gives a ritual that will take away the thing that makes him feel cursed. And it'll be a fantasy romance adventure. That's all that I feel like I can share. And I will use code names for this series and anything involved in it until it is ready to be shared because I want you to be obsessed with the current book I'm working on or my videos and not the thing that I'm not 100% done with yet, but I'm excited. It's been a very long time since I wrote things that are serialized online. So that is what I am working on. And which one are you the most excited about? Let me know in the comments down below. And hopefully the Klaus and Caroline video is either out right now while you're watching this, or will be out very, very soon. So, oh, and tell me, would you watch Viper if it was like 100 episodes that are all 8 to 10 minutes long? Or would you rather just have one massive 4-hour challenge video with lore spliced into it? Let me know.
Editing kit here. I also, since filming this update video, am now going to be working on one more video that is how I go about writing as someone who is a pantser. Technically, I'm a plantser because I'm in between, but I'm going to explain how that process works and what all of the weird little author euphemisms for the different ways that I write and edit are, because it's a trip.
Okay, one last update, and that's why I look different on camera, even though I'm wearing the same pajamas, because a girly repeats her outfits. We're a little bit more eco-friendly over here. I have this thing where I do best when I hyperfixate because I have ADHD. I don't know if you could tell. You can't tell. Nobody could tell. It's not obvious at all. Anyway, I have this thing where when I hyperfixate, I can do amazing things like write 300,000 words in 28 days. Uh, but the issue is that when I hyperfixate, that means that I can't work on anything else. So if you noticed this year, I have done a lot more hyperfixating, where there have been some months where all I did was vanish from long videos, but I put out a ton of shorts. And then I had one month, I think it was February, where I put out a bunch of talking head shorts, and then I did more essays than normal, as well as like some yap videos. And then obviously I disappeared in December and then put out a 150,000 word novel that I had to start over from scratch. Less than 28 days. Shoot me, please. Don't actually shoot me, that's a joke. But I I have gotten behind on content stuff since I was burned out, and I think it might be a good idea for me, other than like when I feel compelled to make something, make it, to take some time to get ahead and write a bunch of essays and voice record them. Same with a bunch of short mini essays and voice record them, or sit down and do a bunch of talking heads on lore in a row and then hold on to them until I'm ready to release them, like until I have time to set aside to edit them. I need to just hyperfixate on all the things I need to get done and then have them so I can schedule them out so they're live while I'm in the writing cave, because I have books to finish and I can't do them when I'm trying to put out a video every week, because depending on how long a video is, it can take a while when they're highly edited. Anything you see on camera, every minute of edited footage took about an hour to do. And that's counting the collecting the B-roll clips or the actual clips from the scene. That's any of the animations, motion graphics, sound effects. Yeah, that can take an hour. And it's a combination of it not being my skill set, but also the slowness of my internet, because I use CapCut, which has to be actively connected to the internet while it's doing it. And if there's any storm or anything going on, my internet gets interrupted wonderfully. And this is Florida in storm season. So that is that. But that's what I'm thinking that I should do. It might mean fewer essays in the interim, but when they're ready, there'll be a lot of them. And it's also easier to do short essays. So if you really enjoy watching me do like little mini deep dives. Like if you want to watch my long form essays but shorter, you should go to the playlist tab on my YouTube channel, and there are shorts series where they're still an essay, they're just not an hour long, and it will automatically play all of them, and they're all my voice, just like my long essays. So that's exciting. I am still I'm still excited for June 23rd. Like you heard earlier in the video, there is something that has to do with one of my books. It's going to be related to it. Because I previously have been under an exclusivity contract, but I am making a really big and exciting kind of scary business decision. And I can't actually say what it is yet publicly. I could to members because members will aren't aren't public. Um, but I still couldn't give them some of the materials until the 23rd. So it's killing me. Technically, I can say it and give away what I want to give away on the 22nd because that's the day my contract ends. And that's the day members will get the announcement. But the 23rd is the day everyone who is not a paying member will get the announcement. So just to be extra safe that I don't violate any contract terms. Um, and we will see how that pans out, and it will determine if I choose to work with the same publishing setup in the future. I may choose to not be contracted for other projects based on how this goes. But you do make more money when you sign exclusivity deals. And that's not just true in publishing, that's also true when it comes to brand partnerships or sponsorships or affiliates. People, it's same with video games. My husband works in games. He used to work in film and now he works in games, and exclusivity, people will pay you more and invest more in projects if you are exclusive. And it is incredibly true in publishing, and it doesn't matter if you're self-published or if you are traditionally published. If you're traditionally published, you're signing print rights, so it is a long-term, very long-term exclusivity contract, whereas my exclusivity contract, I've been renewing, and it's only 90 days, so I just had to wait for the last one to have its contract lapse to invest in myself instead of someone else. And I'm really scared. I'm really like a good kind of scared, like a good kind of nervous. My face probably gives that away. I feel like somebody put a hanger in my mouth.